Superhero genre is one of the most underexplored genres in Indian cinema. Ask a regular person about Indian superheroes and their list of names would hardly go past Krish, Shaktiman and Jeevan.
तो रावण था ना जीवन रावण था फिल्म का नाम रावण था लेकिन पहला हीरो जीवन था रावण विलन था.
And the fault is not theirs, as these are the most highly, or I should say, the only celebrated characters in their category. Still, there are creators like Vikramaditya Motwani and Anurag Kashyap who sensed a big void in this genre and created this cult classic named Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. Released in June 2018, it failed miserably and undeservedly. In this video, we will discuss about why it failed. But before that, we will discuss that why it did not deserve to end up like this. This is Manan and you are watching the Small Town Cinema. The core of any superhero film is its action scenes. Engaging action scenes depend a lot on how well they are choreographed and how much aesthetically they are shot, which this film does really well. But what makes it different from other action films we usually see in Bollywood is that it does follow the rules of physics. Whether see the claustrophobic fight scene inside the flat, or the chase sequence between hero and the police, or the beautifully shot climax fight scene. All these scenes, despite being realistic, are really engaging and generates the adrenaline rush. The film has one of the best chase scenes ever seen in Bollywood and also has one of the best training montage. Unlike most star kids, Harshvardhan Kapoor did not depend on his big name or any big production house, but gave an earnest performance showing his range of expressions. He made the efforts really well that were required for this role. This guy just needs one more chance and he can be a part of league of actors like Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt, who despite their big names never take their work and performances for granted. Actors like Chinmay Mandalekar and Pratap Phad has also done justice to their roles despite their poorly written characters. But the star performer is Priyanshu Peyuli, whom you later saw in successful ventures like Mirzapur 2 and Extraction. Their performances definitely deserved a better fate. One of the hidden gems of Hindi film industry, or I can say one of the best directors in industry right now, is Vikramaditya Motwani, who previously made gems like Udaan, Lutera and Trapped, which by the way I am going to cover in my next videos. All of them unfortunately had a fate like Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. He has always offered realism and great performances in his experimental movies, at the time when Bollywood was offering bullshit, especially in action genre. Despite all these points, the film had its own flaws and was far from a perfect film. These flaws in the film from the creator's side as well as their bad luck, which I am going to point out now, are the reasons behind the failure of the film. I found the characters as the weakest point of the film. The characters are developed only at the surface level and there's no clue about their backgrounds, clear reason behind their actions and what the hero actually did for his living after donning his vigilante avatar. On one hand, the film's realism and practicality engages the audience, but on the other hand, the lead characters are shown too optimistic and naive to be taken seriously and to make the audience relate to them. The villain's character is so dull that even the bad guys working for him look more menacing than him. It's not like a villain has to have a hand-to-hand combat with the hero or must have a monstrous plan to destroy the world to make him look more menacing. These two could be the best examples of that. Screenplay was good. The story in itself was unique, but not enough to fill out a 2.5-hour film due to which it felt stretched. When it comes to experimental films, people rarely give chance to even big stars, so chances of acceptance for such a film was already too low. I remember when the film was going to release, hardly anyone was talking about the film. Also, it was the time when popularity of big Hollywood superhero flicks started gaining its peak, as Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 2 and Bhavesh Joshi Superhero released within a month. Maybe the makers thought of cashing in on this rise of popularity of superhero films, which sadly backfired. When it comes to Indian audience, they would enjoy a big budget Hollywood superhero film even if it is an average film. But when it comes to Indian films, they have a notion that the superhero films are only meant for kids. Well, they are not wrong either looking at the history of Indian superhero films, as not most but all of the film's target audience were kids only. Just show any one of them this scene and ask whether this looks like a film made for kids. Also, it was not only Avengers and Deadpool to steal all the buzz, but also Veere the Wedding, which released on the same day as Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. The film was a below average product but did good numbers on box office. and became a major reason behind Bhavesh Joshi superhero's failure, as the latter one pulled all the adult audience towards it. And you know the reason very well. Motwani's previous films like Udaan and Lutera had great albums. In fact, Lutera is still remembered mainly due to its album even after 9 years of its release. Created by Amit Trivedi, this film's music fit really well in the context of the film but failed to make audience connect to it. Superhero films are generally not remembered for their music, but when the makers were having such a risky project with no big names and a new concept, a good music album could have worked for them in gaining the attention of the public. It is evident that a good music album can help even an average or below average film become a big gainer at the box office. Whatever the end product that we have got, it was still a tremendous task for makers to pull it off with such a great quality, with 4 years of pre-production and production, with 3 changed lead actors and a limited budget. I think it could have worked well if it was promoted more as a vigilante film than a superhero film, because that made its comparison with other big budget superhero films inevitable. Even though the intention of creators to name it Bhavesh Joshi Superhero was to show a regular guy becoming a superhero to fight against the all wrongs, but they could have conveyed that in the film itself and could have given a name that audience can feel attracted to or find cool. All those who have enjoyed the film find the original name Bhavesh Joshi Superhero cool and unique in its intended way. Every time a film like this fails, we feel sad that we will never get to see more films like these. But we have to admit that we too are responsible for this, as most of the people watching this video did not watch the film in theaters. If we can't give good movies like these what they deserve, we do not deserve good movies then. So that's all guys, this was the first movie analysis on our channel and there's a lot more to come further. To not miss any of it, subscribe to the Small Town Cinema, hit the bell icon and share the video as much as you can. We have a long way to go yet. Goodbye.